Hello, welcome. This is pretty much exactly where we started the last video from. The last time there was only 2 of us here. This time there's 3. We have a mini me, pretty much. Yeah, 6 weeks ago. It's actually 6 weeks today. And we've been walking around this park since we did the last video. Magda gave birth just over there. Down by that tree.
It was on that bench actually.
Yeah. So yeah, wow. We thought we'd do an update video. It's a bit long overdue, but yeah, we've been getting to grips with our child, who is called Sophia. And yeah, it's been fun. But I suppose we should tell them briefly about the ordeal, being as this is Anxiety United, and the whole giving birth ordeal, which was an ordeal. So 6 weeks ago, on Sunday morning, Magda woke up and her waters broke. It was like, I don't know what time.
About 6:30 maybe?
6:30 in the morning. I think we left to go to the hospital at like, maybe, yeah, just before 9 I think it was. And yeah, what a 24 hours. Nothing went to plan. We went to the hospital in the morning because Magda's waters had broke, but the waters weren't clear like they're supposed to be. There was like a...
Well, basically she pooed.
She pooed. Not Magda. The little one had pooed in the waters. So we went straight to hospital. And we had to go up to the 4th floor. I won't do elevators, so we had to walk up 4 flights of stairs. Like Magda on her due date, walking up 4 flights of stairs, sorry. But then we got to like it was like a ward, and they looked over Magda and put her on machines and stuff, and I think the heart rate was a bit quick. So they were like a bit concerned, and they wanted to induce, or no, take us down to delivery, and just hope that things were going to progress naturally. But
well, she said I'm probably going to have emergency C-section.
Yeah, so that was the first thing we had to deal with at like 10 o'clock in the morning, the thought of maybe there could be a C-section at some point. So we just, yeah, we went to delivery and just waited, and that was it. So we arrived on the delivery suite. Magda had her own room, and they plugged her into all the machines again, and everything was good, weren't it? Like the heart rate was down. Magda's, I think it was your heart rate actually that they were concerned about.
It was both actually.
This was 6 weeks ago, so my memory's a little bit frosty. But Magda,
yeah, I think they said that it looks like it's a completely different baby.
That was it, yeah.
Heart rate was all over the place as well.
Yeah, so everything could just calm down, and then it was just a case of, okay, let's just have a normal birth. Everything's just fine. Baby's fine, mum's doing fine. No need for painkillers, medication or anything. I think they did hook you up to the drip and that, didn't they? But that was it.
No, it was the oxytocin in it. It was
oh, shizzle, yeah. See? She knows. I don't. So it was an induced labour.
It looks like you haven't been there.
I was there. I did go. But
yeah, I got induced.
Your memory erases traumatic events. That's why I can't remember it. All I remember is like the later on in the afternoon.
Yeah.
So there's a clue. It didn't happen early. I think it got to about... It was definitely early afternoon, maybe like 3. p.m, something like that, and you started having more contractions because you was on the gas and air, weren't you?
Yeah.
And then obviously the day was getting longer. We'd been there at this point for, I don't know how long, like 8 hours, 9 hours. I think it got to about 5, 6 o'clock and I was hungry because a man's got to eat. So I ordered myself a Burger King.
Well, I wasn't allowed to eat.
Well, she wasn't allowed to eat a thing, and having contractions, and the pain was getting worse. Yeah, and then noisy buggers. Then it was time for an epidural because things were moving, but it was getting more painful. But she was doing amazing. Like I was impressed with the amount of pain she was taking. And then it was pretty much like that until like 3 a.m. The contractions were getting more and more. The pain was getting worse. Although the epidural really
helped a lot.
It did amazing. Like 1 minute she was in what seemed like agony, and then when the epidural kicked in, she was just chilled. It was crazy to see the difference. And then it got to about 3 a.m. and it was it time to start pushing?
Yeah.
I think it was time to start pushing. I went outside actually. Why did I go outside? Oh, to vape. I went outside to vape at like 3 a.m. I think. I've got a tiny bit of video footage which I might put in now. Hello. I've got to be quiet. It's 3 o'clock in the morning. I am at the hospital. We've been here since 9 o'clock this morning, and we're half an hour away from Magda being able to push. I was going to make a video of this, but it's been a stressful day. We'll tell you all about it as soon as the little one has been delivered. Like, I don't know, maybe in a bit. I'm knackered. I don't know what I'm saying. I've come out to vape for a minute. Like I say, we've been here since 9 o'clock yesterday morning. It's now 3 o'clock the following day, 9th of May. And hopefully, within the next hour or so, we'll have an addition to the family. I mean, walking up the stairs. So that bit of footage was like we were ready. Magda was ready to start pushing, and we were just assuming that within the next hour we were going to have a little baby girl join us and everything was going to be hunky-dory. But unfortunately,
That didn't go
didn't go to plan. I think 2 hours of pushing, I think it was, and then the doctor came in
and he said enough.
Yeah, he said like
I was too tired by that time.
She was tired. It was too long without, what was it? Oh, being dilated, weren't it?
Yeah.
Like they say, apparently, was it 2 or 3 hours after?
Yeah.
I can't remember, something like that.
3 hours.
That it was becoming a bit risky, so we had to get things moving. So they wanted to try like forceps. We weren't keen on the idea of forceps because we've seen and heard of like babies coming out with elongated heads and dents, and you had to sign a waiver, didn't you?
Yeah.
To say that there was a risk of like bruising and cuts and stuff to the little one's head potentially. But she also had to sign a waiver to say that she accepted the fact that it might end up going to a C-section. So we basically had to go to theatre, and the nurses brought me freaking theatre clothing through these like red trousers, like pyjamas, And that was the worst moment for me. That was when I panicked, and you knew that I was panicking.
And I was apologising.
Yeah.
For that.
Sorry that you're gonna have to get. And I'm like, as much as I wanted to say, oh, don't worry about it, I was like pacing up and down, sweating. So I went into the bathroom because we were in our own room at this point still, and there was doctors and nurses coming in and out, and there was a nurse talking about her dog constantly. Do you remember that?
Oh, I forgot about that.
Yeah. It's been 6 weeks. We should have done this video like the day after, we would have remembered. But it was crazy. Then Magda was prepped for theatre, and I had to wait outside theatre in this whatever freaking doctor's outfit. I looked the part, to be fair.
Yeah, you look really good.
And then the nurse came out and said like I could go in, so I went in and sat down. At first I sat next to Magda, but then I felt awful, so I scooted my chair to the back of the room and spilt my water on the floor, which I wasn't supposed to have in there, so that was good. But it was just, yeah, it was intense. But the forceps didn't work. Magda was too tired to push and help them, so it ended up being a C-section, and it was the most surreal experience of my life, man. Like, just, oh my days. If you've never been through that, like it from a male perspective, it was weird. I have no idea what it must have felt like for you.
I can't really remember.
But I was looking at Magda because obviously I was worried about what was going on for her, because the little one weren't out yet. But I was looking at Magda and she was like calm, and then all of a sudden she just looked up and started staring up, and that was the weirdest moment. I didn't know what, I thought you were going to freak out. It was so surreal, really weird.
I didn't know what's going on.
Mm. And then I could see like Magda's top half of her body and her head were being rocked around because they were obviously, I don't know what they were doing, but yeah, she was jiggling. And then like, I don't know, 30 seconds later we heard like a real faint screaming, didn't we? Crying. It didn't sound like it was in the same room, really. It was that muffled. But then a minute later, on the little table thing over in the corner, they were doing her obs, and there she was. And then she was placed on Magda, and it was just crazy to think. Oh, by the way, this was at like, what time in the morning? I can't even remember.
10 to 6.
10 to 6.
10 to 6 in the
10
morning.
to 6 in the morning, our daughter was born, after being there from 9 o'clock the previous day. So then, after it was all done, I went through to the recovery room, and a couple of minutes later they brought the little one through, and it was just me and her sitting in recovery for like 10-15 minutes while they patched Magda up and did whatever they did. But it was crazy. Like, I was knackered. I weren't freaking out at this point. I would completely overcome any anxiety that I had. But it was amazing, crazy. Yeah, just mental. And then Magda came through to recovery, and we just sat for like, I don't know, an hour, just looking at Sophia and looking at each other and just realising what the hell had just happened. Crazy chaos, and now she's crying, and yeah, that's that. But what an ordeal, a crazy ordeal. Like, Magda was pretty sure that she wanted to have another child.
Yeah.
But now,
it's going to be an only child.
It's going to be an only child, because that was just too much. So after that, I had gone home to get some sleep, and then I had to go back, obviously, to see Magda and my newborn child. And then I was made aware that she was now on the 5th floor, and that was probably the hardest thing for me, like anxiety wise, was going back later that day, on the Monday, knowing that I had to go into the hospital and up to the 5th floor on my own. I was really nervous. I think I got to the car park and I think I sat in the car for maybe like 45 minutes, just, I don't know if I can do this. But I did. I was just thinking to myself, like, my missus, poor woman, is having to go through this on her own. Plus I've got a helpless little child up there who is screaming right now. Should have bloody left her there.
Shall we go back?
We've tried to return her, but they won't have her. But yeah, and then I think you were there for a couple of days, weren't you?
Well,
I came back on the Tuesday.
yeah, I went home Tuesday.
Oh, did you come home on the Tuesday? So yeah, a couple of trips to the 5th floor, and that was it. And since then, it's been 6 weeks at home, just getting to grips with being a new parent again.
Good time.
So yeah, it's been good. Like, we're both enjoying it. It's been really nice. Obviously I've been here before, but Magda hasn't, and that's what's made this so special, is like seeing Magda. I know,
I'm gonna have to take her out.
okay, I've always known that Magda wanted a child, and to just, yeah, now we've done it. Never again.
There's a bald head. Say hello, Sophia.
But yeah, it's been a really nice experience. I'm glad that I was there through it all.
So am I.
Yeah. It would have been awful if I weren't there. Like, I had to do it. I've been in that hospital a few times over the last couple of years.
With me.
Yeah. And yeah, we did it. And now we're learning about Sophia, and both my other children have been awesome with her. Like, Josh comes over as much as he can. Lula's really good with her. So my dad has another grandchild. Magda's mum has her first grandchild. It's really nice. It's felt like it's brought us all closer together. And yeah, we're getting plenty of exercise, walking as well.
Carrying her around.
Yeah. Tiredness kills. That's the only downside so far, is tiredness. Like, Magda's expressing milk, so she's up every 3 hours doing that, and I'm tired just like because I'm getting up early and we're having late nights, but poor Magda's having to get up twice a night. So yeah. And yeah, that's pretty much it. 6 weeks ago today, we had an addition for the family, and everything's good. So yeah, that's pretty much it. I am going to Wales without Magda and without my new addition this weekend. I intend on making a couple of videos, but they're not going to be about anxiety, I don't think, unless I'm freaking out while I'm there. But yeah, it's kind of, the ship has sailed, so to speak, with regards to anxiety. Everything's good. I don't give it the time of day anymore. We just do what we do. So yeah, if you want to stay subscribed because you like seeing me, Magda, the little one. Everybody's going to Wales apart from Magda and the little one. Like my lad, his girlfriend, my daughter, my other daughter rather, and my dad. We're all going to Wales just for the weekend because Lula, my daughter's just finished her exams this week. So yeah, we're just going for a few days, get away. So yeah, stay tuned, videos, and then a bit later in the year I'm going fishing with my dad for a week. So If you don't like the Wales videos, you sure as hell won't like that. Two fat, bald geezers, sorry Dad, fishing. So yeah, thanks for watching. Stay tuned if you want to see more, but if you're here for anxiety advice, get up, get out and get on with it. In a bit.